Are this for kids? Oh, it is for kids. Age grading 3 plus. I'm age grading 3 plus. Hi there, I'm Regina, and on this channel, we have fun with our self care by adult coloring, painting, and paper craft. Today, we're going to take a look at this Shuttle Art water based gel crayons. They are intended for kids, but we're kids. And we're gonna take a look at it, see what's inside, see how they feel like, how they work on our coloring pages, and on our sketchbooks. So let's get started. All right, let's open this up. All right, so the plastic wrap is off. So it says Shell Art water-based gel crayons, bright colors, great for kids. It's washable. It's 48 colors. Twistable, super smooth, blendable. Features washable, kids friendly, and easy to clean. Super smooth, easy glide across the page. Twistable, twist up design reduces breakage of gel inside and remains clean under the protection of plastic shell. Blendable, by blending different colors, you can get vibrant visual results. Ideal for kids, students, and adults, no matter for coloring, drawing, or blending. Usage. Coloring and drawing with gel crayons, blending by wet paintbrush before the crayons dry, or doodling with wet fingers before the crayons dry. All right, and this says it's age grading 3 plus. Well, I'm age grading 3 plus, so I can use this. All right, let's take a look inside. All right, so these are the 48 colors. It comes with a flat brush, a small flat brush. This has a plastic shell that's twistable. There are no color names, so we're gonna have to either put a sticker ourselves or go without. So I think this would be a perfect time for us to swatch and see how they feel like. All right, let me grab some paper. All right, so I have made a simple swatch chart and some stickers so I can put numbers on each of these crayon. So let's put these stickers and then swatch each of these crayons. All right, so everything is labeled. So now we're going to swatch these. I blacked out the first box because that's for the white, so that the white will show up. I did this with Sharpie. All right, let's do this. Okay, so far, without dissolving it, just putting it on paper, it's very creamy and very nice bright color. And in the middle of swatching, what I was thinking was actually this. I leave a little bit of section so that I can put this on a palette, like this Carandash palette, so that I can dissolve it with water and then paint it. See how that looks like. Because I think I can use the glossy section, not not the matte textured side. So all right, let's dissolve this and see how they look like. I'm gonna use the brush they provide. They provide it in the and how see how it feels. I know this is probably a cheap one for kids, but let's see. Actually, I have to switch to the textured side. The glossy one doesn't really grab the crayons, so it works much better on the textured side. All right, so I have dissolved all of the colors. Now I'm going to smudge this the last swatch. I'll smudge it and then we'll leave it to dry and then we'll come back and see the results. Okay, now they're all dry. So let's take a look at what they look like. So this is dry as is on the paper. This one I applied to the paper and then dissolved with water. This is what I rubbed with my finger. And this I used the palette and then I dissolve it from here and transfer it to the paper. It looks like if you apply the crayon to the paper and then dissolve it, it doesn't dissolve completely. I don't know if you can see all of these. Doesn't matter how much I scrub. And then this one, I don't know if you can see. There's the water. The paper starts to peel because I've been rubbing so much that yeah. So This crayon's probably not good to be applied to the paper and then dissolved with water. But when you put it on the palette and then dissolve it from with water there and then apply it to the paper, it's beautiful. Look at all of these. It works great. So I definitely will not apply this to paper and dissolve it on the paper. With the finger, it doesn't dissolve, it doesn't rub completely. It's not really blending. But I guess if you want to keep it, it looks, if you just want to apply it on the paper and that's the look you want. And if you want to blur the edges, you can do that with your finger. In terms of this brush I used, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but it starts to I mean, it's, it's like cheap for brush for kids, but like the hair starts to spread. So this is just gonna be my brush that I use for nothing's fancy, just a brush to do something. So I'm not gonna be using this to make any uh, coloring or art or anything. Now I want to see because this I'm using mixed media paper for this. So now I want to see how it looks like. I just want to test something on this watercolor sketchbook. This is my Moleskine sketch watercolor sketchbook. So let me just put this aside and see how this looks like. If I'm just gonna test, I'm just gonna pick a color. Since it's fall, let's use some brownish earth tone colors. So let's see if we use this and dissolve it. Yeah, it's not dissolving completely. You can still see the pigment there. If you can see that, the pigment doesn't dissolve completely. So, okay. So now we know that's what it is. How about if we use our finger on the watercolor paper? Yeah, it's not completely. So that's how it looks like when you rub it. What else we can do here? I know that we can use brush to, if we rub it on the palette and we use brush to transfer the color from there to paper, we can do that. I'll be right back. Let me grab the brushes. All right, I got brush here and let's see, we rub it on here. Yeah, that works perfectly. Yeah, this works for if we need to do background on coloring books, we can do that. Or not just coloring books, but your sketchbooks or anything. So that works. Okay, so now let's see how this works on coloring books. All right, so now I've picked my coloring book. This is the Rita Berman's fall book, autumn book, and I am going to do this mushroom. And I picked my color palette. This is from Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cube, card 127. I love how autumn color mixed with blue sky. That's just my favorite. And I picked my gel crayons. Um, this is for the blue, the light yellow, orange, red, and the green. This green's a little dark, so I am thinking of combining it with this yellow ochre. See how that looks like. See if it's gonna deliver this color. All right, so let's get coloring. Okay, so far from just this section, it dissolves pretty well. I didn't see any um harsh. I mean, yes, there are texture. Not everything is completely dissolved, so you can see a little bit of the pigment left. Um, but I feel like it's dissolving better than expected. Um, and but it did crumble a little bit. I, as you can see, there's one uh crumble to this side. But all right, well, let's get going. Keep going. All right, so This is the end, well, the end of using the gel crayons. Obviously, this is not finished yet. I will do the detail coloring, but as a base, I use the brush um, to put these green and yellow ochre. I think some of these are combined here. And then I use another brush for the sky. And these, I love this for like the dry application. Not so much putting it on paper and dissolving it with water because you can still see the texture. Some of them I like on these berries right here. I actually like the texture, but not so much on these circles because I think I would like these to be a little smoother. This yellow sections right here, it's actually not as bad. I don't know if maybe the color is more saturated, but this red just turns very light, very pinkish. So you can, it's obvious how the crayons, where the crayons was applied. Same, I think same thing with the orange. Some of them are less so, but most of them are pretty obvious. I think it just depends on like also the illustrations. Like when there's a lot of like a small space, it's not as obvious, but when it's like bigger spaces like these, you can tell. So and the leaves, obviously, I was using it, putting it on palette and dissolved it with water. So these are a little more smoother, not really, like you can still see the brush strokes, but definitely much better. Like here, you can tell it's much better than this section or this circular section. So yeah, overall, if you never tried gel crayons before, I think this would be great as an entry if you want to try it. But if you have, I would suggest getting a bit because these are, intended for children. So I would say get maybe a slightly better or maybe student grade gel crayons. If you can't afford like Neocolor too, for example. Um, if you just want to try what gel crayons feels like, this is good just to try. But know that you are getting what you pay for. You're not, not all the pigments gonna dissolve very well on the coloring book. Okay, so now I want to test how it actually looked on the watercolor sketchbook. All right, so I thought maybe I'll do a little bit of just rough sketching with these gel crayons, maybe using this image right here from the card. And we'll see how this actually dissolves if we sketch it directly with the crayons on the watercolor sketchbook. So let's do that. Okay, I quickly sketched this picture here. Very juvenile. But as you can see, on watercolor paper, it's definitely much worse because we have texture. Directly applying it to watercolor, you're going to get a lot of texture. It's not going to go away. It doesn't matter how much you dissolve it. You can get the smooth color just by dissolving it on the palette. right there. But applying it to the paper directly, you're going to get the texture. And this really get good if you do want the texture, and you probably don't need to dissolve it. You can just apply it straight, and you can get the texture that you want. But yeah, as I suspected, this gonna you're gonna get a lot of texture applying it directly to a watercolor paper. There you go. All right, I hope you learned something new today. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Easy peasy. And please subscribe. It's that button right there. It helps the channel and it's free, so you won't miss the next video. And I link that whole video right here so you can enjoy what I got in the last couple of months and maybe give you some inspirations. All right, until the next video, I'll see you later.